Imagine this, it's your birthday, and you've just received a check from a relative. You're already thinking about what you'll buy, maybe a new gadget, a nice dinner, or just a little extra cushion in your bank account. But before you can even get to the bank, you get a call. The check's been canceled. The money you thought was yours? Gone, just like that. It's a frustrating feeling, right? Now imagine that scenario playing out on a much, much bigger scale. Not with birthday checks, but with billions of dollars in government funds. That's the essence of what's happening in Washington right now, thanks to a little-known maneuver called the pocket rescission. So what exactly is a pocket rescission? Think of it as a secret weapon in the White House's budgetary arsenal, a way for the executive branch to quietly pull back money that Congress has already approved without the usual fanfare or debate. It's a bit like a magician's sleight of hand. The money is there one moment, and then, with a flick of the wrist, it's gone. This isn't just a theoretical trick, it's a real, tangible action that can have massive consequences for government programs, international aid, and America's standing in the world. Here's what's happening right now. The White House has just announced plans to cut nearly $5 billion in foreign aid. But instead of going through the usual process where Congress debates and votes on whether to take the money back, the administration is using a rare and controversial tactic. They're simply holding on to the funds until it's too late in the fiscal year for them to be spent. When the clock strikes midnight on the fiscal year, any unspent money just disappears. It's a move that's caught many in Washington off guard, and it's raising big questions about who really controls the nation's purse strings. Let's break down how this works. Every year, Congress passes a budget that allocates money for all sorts of programs, everything from military spending to foreign aid, disaster relief, and scientific research. Once that money is approved, it's supposed to be spent as directed. But the executive branch has some leeway in how quickly, or slowly, it actually releases those funds. By deliberately dragging its feet and waiting until the very end of the fiscal year, the administration can ensure that certain funds never get spent at all. When the year ends, the money expires and goes back into the Treasury, never reaching its intended destination. This is the heart of the pocket rescission strategy. Instead of Congress openly voting to take money back, a process that would involve public debate, media scrutiny, and likely a lot of political fallout, the administration can quietly make funds vanish by simply running out the clock. It's a bit like a basketball team holding onto the ball in the final seconds of a game, preventing the other team from even having a chance to score. The result? Billions of dollars that were supposed to go to foreign aid, humanitarian projects, or other government initiatives never leave the Treasury. This tactic isn't just clever, it's controversial, and it's sparking outrage on both sides of the aisle. Sounds sneaky? That's because it is. Critics say it's a way for the executive branch to sidestep the checks and balances that are supposed to keep our government honest. After all, Congress is the branch of government that's supposed to control the nation's spending. When the White House uses pocket rescissions, it's essentially rewriting the rules, taking power away from lawmakers and concentrating it in the hands of the president and his advisors. This isn't just a minor procedural issue, it's a fundamental question about how our democracy works and who gets to decide how taxpayer dollars are spent. Usually Congress holds the purse strings. That's a core principle of American government, enshrined in the Constitution. The founders wanted to make sure that no single person or branch could control the nation's finances without oversight. But pocket rescissions flipped that script. By waiting until the last possible moment to withhold funds, the executive branch can effectively override Congress's decisions without a single vote, hearing, or public debate. It's a power play that's as bold as it is controversial, and it's raising alarms among lawmakers, legal experts, and watchdog groups alike. The Government Accountability Office, the nonpartisan watchdog that keeps an eye on federal spending, has weighed in, and their verdict is clear. They say pocket rescissions are illegal. According to the GAO, the law requires the executive branch to spend money as Congress directs, unless Congress itself votes to take it back. But the administration argues that what they're doing is rare, not unprecedented. They point to presidents in the 1970s who tried similar tactics, arguing that there's historical precedent for this kind of maneuver. The legal debate is fierce and it's far from settled. Some legal scholars say the courts may ultimately have to decide whether pocket rescissions are a clever use of executive authority or a blatant violation of the law. This isn't just a fight about process, it's a battle over power. At stake is the fundamental question of who gets to decide how America spends its money. Is it Congress with its messy debates and compromises, or is it the president, acting quickly and decisively, sometimes behind closed doors? The answer could shape the balance of power in Washington for years to come. And it's not just a theoretical issue. The outcome will have real-world consequences for people and programs around the globe. So, what's actually being cut? The list is long and varied. It includes funding for United Nations peacekeeping missions, operations that help maintain stability in some of the world's most volatile regions. It also targets climate resilience projects in developing countries, which are designed to help vulnerable communities adapt to the effects of climate change. Humanitarian aid deliveries, which provide food, medicine, and shelter to people in crisis, are also on the chopping block. These aren't just line items in a budget, they're lifelines for millions of people around the world, and it doesn't stop there. Democracy promotion programs, efforts to support free elections, independent media, and civil society in countries struggling with authoritarianism are also facing cuts. These are programs that Congress has already approved with bipartisan support. The money was supposed to be spent, the projects were supposed to move forward, and the world was supposed to benefit. But with a stroke of the pen and a well-timed delay, those plans are now in jeopardy. The backlash has been swift and fierce, and it's coming from both sides of the political spectrum. Lawmakers from both parties are furious. They're calling the move unconstitutional, a direct attack on Congress's power of the purse. Some are threatening legal action, while others are demanding hearings and investigations. The anger isn't just about the money, it's about the principle. If the executive branch can unilaterally withhold funds that Congress has already approved, what's to stop it from doing the same thing in other areas? Today it's foreign aid. Tomorrow it could be disaster relief, education, or even Social Security. The precedent being set here could have far-reaching implications for how our government operates. The debate is raging on the House and Senate floors. Lawmakers are raising their voices, demanding answers, and warning of a slippery slope. They argue that if Congress loses its power over the budget, it loses its ability to represent the will of the people. After all, the budget isn't just a collection of numbers, it's a reflection of our national priorities, our values, and our commitments to allies and partners around the world. The stakes couldn't be higher. So why does all of this matter? On the surface, it might seem like a technical dispute over budget rules, but the reality is much bigger. Less aid abroad could mean more money available for domestic priorities: roads, schools, healthcare, and infrastructure. Some argue that in tough economic times we should focus on problems at home before sending money overseas, but others warn that slashing foreign aid could have unintended consequences, both for America's global leadership and for our own security. America's allies and rivals are watching closely. When the U.S. pulls back on its commitments, it creates openings for other countries like China or Russia to step in and expand their influence. Foreign aid isn't just charity, it's a tool of diplomacy, a way to build partnerships, and a means of advancing American interests around the world. If we start using budget tricks to cut off funding, we risk undermining our credibility and weakening our position on the global stage. The world is more interconnected than ever, and what happens in Washington doesn't stay in Washington. The debate over pocket rescissions is about more than just dollars and cents. It's about the kind of country we want to be, one that keeps its promises, honors its commitments, and plays a leading role in the world, or one that turns inward and lets others fill the void. It's also about the health of our democracy. When one branch of government can override the will of another, it raises serious questions about accountability, transparency, and the rule of law. These are issues that go to the very heart of our system of government. So, what do you think? Is the pocket rescission a clever, necessary tool for keeping government spending in check, a kind of budget ninja move that helps rein in waste and focus resources where they're needed most? Or is it a dangerous overreach, a way for the executive branch to grab power and undermine the checks and balances that are supposed to protect our democracy? The answer isn't simple, and reasonable people can disagree. But one thing is clear: the stakes are high. and the outcome will shape the future of American government for years to come. I want to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below and let's get the conversation started. Do you think pocket rescissions are a smart way to manage the budget or a threat to democracy? And if you found this breakdown helpful, don't forget to hit subscribe for more fast, clear, and in-depth political analysis. We'll keep bringing you the stories that matter, the context you need, and the insights you won't find anywhere else. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more.